going on, YouTube? Welcome back. It's Yums, and today I'm about to show you some absolutely insane coverage defense. I teased this a little bit in my 3-3-5 mini scheme, but we're about to go all the way through it. I'm going to show you the different adjustments I like out of it, and I'm going to show you why this is the best coverage in the game, in the whole game. But before we jump into it, if I could ask you one favor, please slide down below the video and hit that subscribe button. We are on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. So I mentioned it earlier, for this defense, we are going to be out of the 3-3-5. I'm in the 4-6 defensive playbook. And for our coaching adjustments, as always, we want to play ball defense. Now against bunch, it is going to change depending on what play they are using. Make sure to look at the card on screen now for some zone drop tutorials. But we'll start off with a 5 and 25. That's kind of a Z spot zone drop adjustment right there. So if they're going to run Z spot, this is what we're going to go with. Remember, if they're running flood or some other concept, we might have to change these up, but let's start on these for this tutorial. The play I have been talking about all video, and the play we are going to be running today is this cover 3 double buzz. Now this coverage just confuses the hell out of people. You can see I have a crazy amount of calls with it. Let's get into it. First of all, you can see this coverage confuses people because who the cover 3 assignments are. People are not used to this deep middle third. If there's a deep third off of this, it's usually one like this, and it's coming from an angle, not the dead on man, right? The other thing is they're not used to looking at these outside guys dropping and these guys rotating. They're looking for the one of these safeties to rotate down into this purple and one of these guys to rotate back. But since we're playing buzz, that's not what happens. There's not very many other buzzes. This might actually be the only cover 3 buzz. I'm not sure about that. I'll have Dan put an editor note on screen right about now. But it definitely confuses people because of the difference of it. So first off, usually we are going to use this middle guy in our 3-3-5 defensive game plan. For this play, we do actually have to switch over to this guy because we want this guy dropping, and that's the main reason. So the first way we can actually go ahead and run this is literally completely stock. It's going to confuse the hell out of people, and with just some zone drops, it is gonna be pretty deadly. So let's actually go run through it, and you can see the middle of the field is gonna be our responsibility. And you can also see the pass rush out of it is surprisingly ridiculously good. It also stops the run pretty well. So let me reset that real fast because there's no zone drops in practice. So we are in a game, and I'll be right back. So we are reset there. What's surprising about the first take is I forgot to remind y'all to crash and contain. I actually did not even crash up twice and contain. When you crash up twice, you contain, and you run those 3 unpredictables we have talked about in the 3-man front, you are going to get some crazy, absolutely crazy sheds going at the quarterback. That's going to make this 3-man rush more than enough. So let's talk about some adjustments that we can make out of this play. Like I said, I run a lot of my calls out of this actually. The first thing I want to show y'all is actually a double mabel. So we can actually go ahead and double mabel if our opponent was going to be, let's say, targeting the sideline. So in this scenario, you can see the offense is targeting the sidelines. We want to go ahead and press Y down on the right stick to shade those guys down. Now we want to press Y twice, LB right on the left stick, And we want to go ahead and do the exact same thing to A. Now you see we have a nice little double mabel. So remember, we have our zone drops on 5 and 25, meaning that this guy is going to crash down super hard and play 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Meanwhile, this guy is actually going to drop back. Now in MUT, I run lurkers on my outside corners. I run acros in this spot. Acros in this spot in this defense is absolutely necessary, whether they're in the hook or they're crashing down. You will get so many more picks if you put acros on these high safeties in this play call. So let's run through it. Let me switch to this guy and we will go. And you can see it is just absolutely lock city on the sides of the field. We go back and run that back. You can see the mabel picks everything up nicely there. Everything is covered. Maybe a bit of throw over the top here, but it wasn't at all open until this point. And by that point, the pass rush is already starting to get there. So we showed you the double mabel. Another call that I do actually like to use is just the single mabel and leave this guy in a hook. So for that, remember, we always want to crash our line. We want to contain our line. We want to press Y, shade down again. Then on the bunch side, I like to mabel. This is going to be more for those flood concepts. Don't have a flood concept selected here. We'll just make a little flood concept. Cool. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Apologies. Cool. So you can see we have this sideline mabeled, the sideline with the bunch. Again, that means we've explained what that means. And then we're going to leave this hook. The reason I want to actually leave this hook would be if this is, if I have a suspicion this is going to be a post. That is actually going to guard fantastically. This hook is against that post. So let's go ahead and snap this and I'll show you how that plays out. And you can see, okay, and we complete it because Madden 22 is a great game. You can absolutely see the wizardry that is the defense on Madden 22. Let's go back and take a look at that. You see he gets bumped and then you see he's covered. I don't know what was that, Madden? What was that? But the point being is that you can use this hook to play bracketed coverage. If you use your zone drops on this hook and you put it off where they're going to make the cut on their post, it is going to be a lot more effective. So I should have actually dropped him back to here and then it would have been more effective. As you see, he would have been 5 yards back. Again, you also want to have an acro guy there so that he goes ahead and plays that. Let me go ahead and reset again since the defense is absolutely trash in Madden 22. Another way I wanted to show you all to set up this coverage before we got so rudely interrupted by the atrocious zones in Madden 22 was I wanted to show y'all if you go ahead and you man up this guy. So let's say this running back is a problem. You keep throwing the running back out. We'll man up this guy and then actually go ahead and mabel the flood sideline. So you can see how that looks. And let's go ahead and snap this football and let me not fall over this time so it actually plays out. And you can see the coverage is pretty great. I see where the bust was, but that was after a route bounce. Let's go back and take a look at this guy. And you can see he is going to crash down and play that. That is acro. You can totally throw that. They could totally throw that early and dump down, but they would have to be committed to dumping down to the check down right away. We have that flood sideline covered. Again, these are not the zone drops you want to use if you think they're going to run flood. We want to be more on a 10-20 zone drops here, but it's what we had right there. And you can see the deep ball, it never seems very open because you have these guys rotating back super well. And then again, we have Mike covered. Mike is going to get this big pocket underneath, and that's predictably where our user would be. Remember, I'm obviously not usering on these plays because I am using the offensive controller, but again, remember, your user is going to want to go and rotate back here to the middle of the field. Really, this defense is about locking down the sidelines with your zones and then playing the middle of the field by yourself until you go ahead and put those hooks out there. And when you put those hooks out there, you don't want to put them out there all the time. You want to throw them out there. You really want to read your opponent, right? So when you know they're going to throw that post, when you know they're going to throw that underneath route, they're going to throw that in route, whatever, you go ahead and you use those. I love this defense overall. I love it in the goal line. Before we get out of here, I will show you also the other benefit of it is that everyone is already, everyone in this defense is backpedaling. And what that means is that it's actually better to play the run as well. You can see everyone comes up and plays the run super well because their eyes are already on the backfield. I hope y'all enjoyed learning the best coverage in Madden 22. We had a funny moment with the zones there, but I promise it is still the best coverage. I use it in MCS qual games, in tournament games all the time, weekend league. If you pop by the stream, shameless plug, twitch.tv/yums_95. You'll see me running this coverage all the time. Man, it confuses everybody from like casuals to super high level players. You can ask my editor Dan. We've used it in scrims. Dan, put a note on the screen if you appreciate this coverage. Tell the people what you think about this coverage. I hope you all had a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure to smash that like button, and we'll see you next time.